After last week, you weren't too happy with Alex Bowman. Have the two of you chatted about what happened in the wreck at the end of stage 2 since then?
Yeah, he texted me and apologized, so that was kind of him to reach out.
Okay. Also, just from your end, how hard of a wreck was that? Because on Inside the Playoffs, Ross said that, at least in his impact, it cracked the Hans device.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Mine was hard. I've had worse. For me, I think him hitting me in the right side door kind of as I got to the wall kind of helped my impact as far as a neck and head, forward impact. It was more like a side rib thing for me. So, yeah, I was pleased with in the wreck of kind of how he hit me. It took a lot of load off my neck and head than what I've been wrecked like before. So, yeah, it wasn't terrible.
How close are you going to be watching the Xfinity race, just given the course changes? Do you think that anything you see, you can take it tomorrow?
Yeah, watching practice and stuff, that's one thing. Everyone by themselves, kind of okay, I've run this line in a sim. Nothing's really too different. But I think the race will be big, just kind of seeing at turn 6, especially 7, racing around cars the dive bombs into 7. I think they'll be pretty common. If you got a guy, a few car lengths back there, because the entry has to be so wide to get off that corner, you're going to have guys just ship it in there and use you as a bumper guard. So I'll be watching that race for sure, just kind of seeing just how it races and just restart zones. And, you take notes on that restart zone where it is, if you're in X row, I want the top or bottom. This row launches a little better, or if I'm in this row, maybe I'll take another lane. So, yeah, those little things you'll watch.
You got 2 teammates below the cut line entering this race. Obviously, you're not locked in, so you still got to do what you need to do to lock yourself in. But were there any conversations this week about trying to help them as much as you can, if possible?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much I can help. This is just different than a Talladega or something, to where, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to find each other. I'm going to help you guys out as much as I can with pushes and try to get you stage points. But here, it's tough, and I can't really help much. So hopefully those guys can put a good run together. We need to do the same. We can't afford to lay up this week, even though we're 25 to the good. You still have to have a good race. So, hopefully those guys can have a good weekend and we can get 3 of us moving on.
At plus 25, do you feel like points-wise that stage points and just going for this and staying out for those are a necessity?
Yeah, we've talked about all different scenarios, Jonathan and I, and you kind of see who you're racing around, where you qualify, what points are up for grabs in the first and second stage, just kind of realizing where you're at, so all scenarios, and you kind of keep your mind open and you see how the race starts and kind of how it's unfolding. So, but I think it'd be hard to throw away stage points, unless you get in a funky scenario of I'm not going to get any, or maybe I'm only going to get 1 in this stage. Maybe we flip it then. So you just kind of have to have all plans and be ready to, audible if you need to.
Looking ahead to
Ross, after the wreck at Talladega last week, you said that the Hans device broke. What exactly happened, and with the design of that, and has there been any looking into it to see what caused that to happen?
The team looked at it and saw it cracked. It's not broken. It's not it's broken in half.
Okay.
Just stress crack, and I don't even pay attention to it. Another one on the truck, and we rotate them through every week to keep an eye on them and look at them. And that one will go on the shelf with a cool memory that it did its job.
Is that a concern going forward with that, or
not at all? It did its job. It's taking the impact out for me. So. We can measure the G's in the car frame and in my mouthpiece and compare that. And stuff's made to crack, bend, flex, and make it easier on me.
You started a trend at Phoenix last year, and you followed it up a couple of weeks ago. Non-playoff driver winning in a round in the playoffs. How unusual is that, or do you think it's more a case that to consider you a non-playoff driver or Stenhouse, things have changed a little differently? You'd both be in the playoffs.
I can only speak for us, and see the 17 win at Watkins Glen. Those are 2 cars, the 1 and 17, that I'm saying easily you could make the case that we're capable of being in the playoffs. We just didn't execute over 26 races and win. So, I I don't think it's a trend other than the one car is fast enough to win any week, and it could be first race of the year, the middle part, or the end.
But could we see that continue with road course guys like SVG?
Oh yeah, you can see it with us this weekend.
Ross, it's been a very tumultuous couple of weeks with hurricanes. Obviously, a lot of footage coming out of Florida, your homeland. How difficult has it been to focus on the competition at hand despite so many horrible images coming out of Florida?
It's all right. Family, we're used to preparing. It's not that we're used to feeling the storms and talking to the family. This was another good one, and it did hit north of us up in the Tampa area, and so Fort Myers had less than it could have. It was low tide when it hit, so the storm surge from the storm didn't push as much water up on land. I do have one aunt and uncle that did get some water in their house, but they expected it and had sealed it up the best they could and left. They went over to my other aunt's house and stayed there, which is just built higher, and it got an inch of water in their house, but they cleaned it out and dried it out and good to go. So yeah, it's scary. We have a fall crop. My family does, my uncle and cousin, and they survived. The plants survived. They actually looked pretty good. They're harvesting out of that field now. So the previous years we lost those crops. So it's a risk we take planting this time of year, but the reward is we can sell a lot of watermelons throughout the next couple of months.
And then with your Hans device last week, when did you realize it was cracked?
I haven't even seen it. I don't look at that stuff. That's up for my team. I've got a really good group at Trackhouse that goes through that, and we've kind of evolved through me first getting into the Xfinity car there in 2018, and a lot of people have, put a lot of effort and brain power into what's best for me, because every driver's different. Every driver needs a little different stuff, and I have certain things that that fit my body better than others and that fit different than Daniel. So they found it this week, and it makes me proud that the equipment's doing its job and that it cracked. It didn't break in half. I don't mean to say it like it's in two pieces. It just, you can see a small crack, and that's good. That's dissipating the energy.
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.